experience, and this was a negative experience, with one of my brothers. My brother was going through a hard time, very hard time in his life, because of dumb decisions that he made, but he was suffering because of it. And what happened? A friend of mine and a friend of his began talking to him about Christ, and we talked to him about the Lord. Accept the Lord will help you with your problem. Fine. This went on for a long time. My brothers, just like me, were raised in the church, but they went a different way because they couldn't take some of the things they saw in the church, and they let themselves be guided by that. God had mercy on me, and I didn't. So he constantly rejected accepting Jesus Christ from that particular person. But it wasn't negative. He just wouldn't accept the Lord. And finally, the person stopped speaking to him. So, what happened? What happened there? My brother took it as if because he didn't accept Jesus, that person stopped being his friend. And this is where we are on dangerous ground. You have a friend, and you talk to them about Christ, you help them through their crisis, you help them through their problems, you pray for them. You don't stop being their friend because they don't accept Christ. You can't do that. If you're their friend all the time, whether they accept Christ or not. Can you be friends with a Muslim? I think you can. Can you be friends with a Buddhist? I have a very good friend who's gay. Obviously, I don't agree with his beliefs. We have had great discussions, not arguments, about that. But I'm not going to say he cannot be my friend because of the lifestyle that he lives. Then what kind of Christian am I? A Christian that's only going to be with other Christians? If you are only with other Christians, then who will you win to Christ? Nobody. Yes?
So what if that friend like doing bad things, like going out to parties and getting in trouble?
I'm not. So, what if they are? Do you have to be there with them? Oh, so then there's no problem. I don't think there's any problem. Right? And there becomes the issue. When we do what they do, that's no good.
But then they get mad because you don't do the things they're doing. And they consider you not being your friend.
But then that's okay. You're not losing them. They're losing you. Unfortunately, that happens. That's real. And I know that's real. And the temptation is to keep the friend no matter what. But no, you have to be careful with that. Real careful with that, because are you going to lose your friend or are you going to lose Jesus? You got to be careful about that. Some of the decisions that you make down here can hurt your relationship with God. All right. What are people saying? Essentially, all of my problems occur because somebody else caused it.
They're not taking action.
Responsibility. They're not taking responsibility for what occurs in their life. So, for example, when someone says, no, I went to jail, but I only stabbed him 7 times. He didn't die. I didn't have to go to jail for that. That's his fault. Come on.
You gotta be happy.
Be for real.
He went to jail.
The point there is, even though that's funny, is that that person that committed the crime wants to present themselves as a victim. No, it was their fault because they got me angry. If you hadn't gotten me angry, I wouldn't have stabbed them. Come on.
That's like I was watching this thing on TV. I think it was 48 hours or something. And the one guy, he pulled the trigger because the other guy told him go pull the trigger. And then he told the judge, but I didn't do it intentionally.
Intentionally.
Yeah. So what you did by accident, you just went to the guy and pulled it, and you did it intentionally. You knew what you was gonna do. And the judge got mad and gave him like 25 years, something like that.
All right.
He lucky he didn't get life. He killed the person. I would have given him life.
There you go. You feel that he shouldn't take responsibility for what he did.
Tracy said he did it. And he sat there for like 20 minutes saying, no, I didn't do it intentionally. And then the lawyer, he got pissed off and started flipping. And he was like, you're telling me you did not take the gun from this guy and go to the guy knowing what you were going to do and shoot it. And he was like, oh, yeah, I did.
He knows what he did.
You knew what you was doing.
He knows what he did. And all of you young people here, and I know, we know what we do when we're doing something wrong. We take responsibility for our actions. But we live in a culture of people who are always blaming somebody else. I can't do this because my mother didn't take care of me. I can't do this because I never had my father. I can't do this because I didn't have food in the house when I was growing up. And that's just not real, especially in this country very often where we can have a lot of stuff that we need. Okay, now, for us as Christians, when you're speaking to somebody who's constantly blaming somebody else, you need to have a very particular way of presenting the gospel. Why? Because people are going to be very, bless you, God bless you. People are going to be very resistant because they will not take responsibility for their actions. So we need to have, and we'll talk about it later on, how we present the gospel. I'm sorry, it's that particular person. Now, we also live in a culture of something called syncretism.